when you have enough money, you can have a fall guy. And so this guy.
So we agree the fall guy is getting paid.
Yeah, well, Barry Bonds, he had a fall guy too.
And he got paid.
He never ratted on him.
Hey, that's a guy who's got your 6 right there.
Yeah, I mean,
he did 4 or 6 years, didn't he? He did some time.
Yeah, I mean,
he did time.
Even mayors have fall guys. It's crazy. Politicians have fall guys. Athletes have fall guys.
But we're not insinuating anything. We're just letting you know people have fall guys.
Yeah.
That's all we're saying.
Throughout the world, politicians have fall guys.
I love you guys. I'm not going to jail for you.
Yeah, I was, Deshaun. Deshaun, I was thinking the same thing. Deshaun.
Okay, but if you had Shohei fall guy money,
I'd go to jail for you. Then I'll do it for.
Okay, I'll say this. I'm not going to do it for you out of love. Don't make on that.
You're not down like that.
Yeah. I'll come visit you, pray for you, bring you food.
I got to make a shirt out of that. I'm not going to jail out of love, but I will go for some money. Hey, that's a true story, though.
Generational love.
Hey, welcome to Not a Fitted Podcast. It's your boy Anthony Chicano. I got my guys here. We are not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
Wow.
It was that bad yesterday. We are not talking about it.
We're not talking about it. The Raiders did not lose yesterday.
Oh, no. There's losing, and then there's getting kicked. No. Did you know how many yards we got the whole game? Oh, no. Did you know how many first downs? I know you don't care.
6. I don't know.
Less.
You had less than 6 first downs?
Less than 6 first downs. We set every record going the wrong way.
Okay.
Hold on. Take a guess. All-knowing Bishop over here. Take a guess how many first downs we had the whole game.
I thought you just said 6.
No, less.
Oh, less than 6. Oh. Let's say 4, 1 1/4.
3.
Oh.
He had 67 yards passing.
Dang.
It was that bad. We're not talking about it. I don't even know why I'm still talking about it. And by the way,
I'd like to see the breakdown of how many thousands of dollars he got for every completed
okay,
pass.
just so you know, and then you had the audacity on air last week to ask me if I wanted a Geno Smith. Did you remember? Did we have to bring that up to prove it to him? Did he not ask me if I wanted Geno Smith? And what was the look on my face last week?
You guys had just won.
No. And even after winning, I said, no, I don't want a Geno Smith, didn't I? That was bad. Is that bad?
Is he the only problem? Or do you have to do? Is Pete gone? Is Pete gone? Is Pete gone?
Might be gone.
Wow. Might be gone. Oh my God.
Might be gone.
Well, who are you gonna get better than Pete?
They're so happy to get Pete. Halfway through the season.
No,
yet? 7 years. Not even halfway.
Wow, he's already fired. He's too old.
I didn't say about age. I'm not an ageist over here, but I don't know. We gotta get the locker room under control. Okay, we're not talking about him. All right. What was I supposed to talk about since when I was over? Oh, you know what?
Game 7?
No, Game 7 of what?
The ALCS.
What? Hold on, American League champions. Okay, I had to think about that.
Are they still playing? Whoever wins tonight loses to the Dodgers.
That's right. Okay, hold on, just real quick.
Dodgers already made it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna just
if I can, I admitted to everybody else, I don't know much about baseball, and I know you always say because that's a thinking man's game. That's usually coming, and I know that's a dig. I just don't know how it's a dig, but it's a dig.
Not direct. It's not directed to you.
It was directed towards me, but it's okay because I still love you. But I will want to say this. You said something the other day for all of our Dodger fans. Where are my Dodger fans? Make some noise, okay? Just you can find us on other platforms. Don't forget Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. Do whatever you want. Love and like and share the link. Do whatever you need to do to get the word out. Okay, thank you so much. For all the Dodger fans out there, and I know there's a bajillion of them because all I see around town is the blue. That's it, okay? You said something about Shohei that if you could just educate people on right now, he may go down as the greatest athlete of all time. Why did you make that comment? Explain, because I knew you were right, but I didn't know why you're right. Explain to people what exactly he did that was so spectacular.
Yeah, I said we may be witnessing the greatest baseball player ever.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
To be able to pitch and to hit and do them well. Not only that, last year he had 50 home runs and 50 stolen bases. Like nobody, I don't think anybody's ever done that before.
There's been no pitcher that's ever.
I don't think so.
40-40.
But nobody's 50-50. So somebody else was saying, one of his teammates was saying he has to do the workout of the pitcher. Like, so every day you get to the ballpark, you do like certain workouts based on your position. So he gets to the ballpark, he does the workout of the pitchers, takes a little bit of a break, and then he does all the stuff as a position player. What he's doing right now, nobody's ever done before. It's the stuff that you hear like Babe Ruth did, but nobody's ever really seen anything. Like,
course.
Babe Ruth did this, yeah, but did you really, and then who was he playing against, right? So it's kind of like the stuff that Deshaun talks about when it comes to
Celtics and plumbers.
yeah.
That is your number one line. Yeah, go ahead.
So anyway, we are seeing some. The other night he had, I think it was 11 strikeouts, 6 scoreless innings pitched, and hit 3 home runs. And one of them went like out of the stadium.
Right, and correct me if I'm wrong. He literally won the game by himself.
Yeah,
because they ended up beating the opponents only scored 2 runs. Correct.
He accounted for more runs than the other team had. So
by himself. So he essentially won the game by himself.
It's the stuff that you see like in Little League.
Yeah. So I would go as far as to say, and I have no problem saying this, if he continues in this trajectory for another 3 to 5 year window of these unbelievable stats, he may go down as the greatest athlete of all time. There's just nothing to compare that to. That's like equivalent of basketball. You win the Defensive Player of the Year award, the Offensive Player of the Year award, the slam dunk contest, and a 3-point contest, and the assist.
I think the only thing that may hold him back from people wanting to give him the GOAT title of a baseball player is he's not
American.
He's not American.
Yeah, no, you're right. And we're like that. There's all countries are like that, to be honest with you. But yeah, but especially us when it comes to baseball, America's pastime.
Did his homie end up going to jail?
Yes.
For gambling?
Yeah.
Yes.
See, that may be the only thing that could take him down is he keeps getting these little scandals. He got another one with like some real estate developer in Hawaii.
Really? But his homie, was he ever indicted on that, or did his homie? He's just the fall guy.
See, that's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We got a little Pete Rose going on over here, huh?
Yeah. I mean, when you have enough money, you can have a fall guy. And so this
so,
guy.
So we agree the fall guy is getting paid.
Yeah. Well, Barry Bonds, like, he had a fall guy too.
And he got paid.
He never ratted on him.
Hey, that's a guy who's got your 6 right there.
Yeah, I mean, like,
he did like 4 or 6 years, didn't he? He did some time.
Yeah, I mean,
he did time.
Even mayors have fall guys. Like, it's crazy. Like, politicians have fall guys, athletes have fall guys.
But we're not insinuating anything. We're just letting you know people have fall guys.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying.
Throughout the world, politicians have fall guys.
Man, I love you guys. I'm not going to jail for you.
Yeah,
So,
I was, Deshaun.
You guys know.
Deshaun, I was thinking the same thing. Deshaun.
Okay, but if you had Shohei fall guy money,
I'd go to jail for you. Then I'll do it for.
Okay, I'll say this. I'm not going to do it for you out of love. Don't bank on that.
you're not down like that.
Yeah. I'll come visit you, pray for you, bring you food.
I got to make a shirt out of that. I'm not going to jail out of love, but I will go for some money. Hey, that's a true story though.
Generational wealth.
Hey, that guy get a couple $100 million. He set up. Like this 46 years, just a short little stint in the grand scheme of things, right? Anyway, I just want to say that to all my Dodger fans. That whole little 7-8 minute segment was just for you guys. All right. Okay. I got to do something. I had so many people stop me about that rap clip. They're like, oh my gosh, that was spot on. The one with the outfits. We did the one with the outfits.
Yeah, someone mentioned to me.
They're like, and one old timer goes, that's right. This generation's soft. They don't know how to rap. They don't even know how to dress. They can't rap if they can't dress. And then I had another guy like, bring back the Timbs, right? So the overalls and Timbs. Anyway, so I don't know if we actually talked about it on air, but AI is taking all these old songs and they're doing the clips with it. They're making them jazzy or they're making them funk or soul or whatever. Okay, I got a clean one, so it's no too short. Okay, we got moms, you don't have to turn it down right here, okay? And then none of us are gonna get in trouble. There's no 50 Cent. There's nothing like that. But I found one of Will Smith. I know you guys don't consider him a rapper, but I'm telling you right now, I've got this philosophy. AI makes it better. Okay? So we're just going to watch a little short segment of it. This is just a surprise.
Now here's a little story I'm about to share.
Okay.
How my world flipped over right then and there.
Okay.
I'd like to take a moment, so pull up a chair.
I am.
I'll tell you how I ended up the Prince of Belvedere Square. Where's and play. Chillin', maxin', taking it cool. Shooting some hoops after class at school. When a couple of folks who were up to no good began stirring up trouble in my neighborhood. Got in one scuffle, my mom freaked out. She said, you're moving with your aunt and uncle way down south. Now I begged her and pleaded every single day, but she packed my bag and sent me on my way. She kissed me goodbye, then handed my ticket.
What'd you guys think? What'd you think?
It's good.
That was good.
Yeah, that's
huh?
good. Yeah, I like it.
Okay,
was good.
you were just watching the guy dance though, huh? Like, were you more entertained by the song or by the guy getting into it up there?
Definitely by the song.
Okay.
But
That was
so
good.
so I guess my question is like, what does all this AI stuff do to the music industry? Does it do anything?
I think it's going to change the game. Guys, I'm telling you, I had a conversation with a guy who's just a light years smarter than me, and matter of fact, we're going to do an AI. Tune in, maybe not the next week, but the following week. But we're going to do an AI segment. They're coming out now saying like the possibilities for AI are limitless, from the music industry all the way to the movie industry, all the way to how the sports teams are now scripting plays, because you can insert the defense that comes in and here's the best play to run for probability. I mean, bro, it's just when I'm talking to my friend, maybe I ought to see if he can come on our podcast and really break it down. Like one of you was standing with me out there, but I don't know if you was listening or if you were in a different conversation. But I said, what's stopping AI right now? He said two things: power and storage space. Power and storage space. And y'all are youngins, you'll know, but like, because I don't think y'all got to see Terminator 2 Judgment Day when it came out, like Skylink and Skynet. But I'm saying all this because y'all was, I don't know if you got.
Yeah,
movies.
I'm young. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you know, 5-7 years make a difference. Just so you guys know. Because I had to sneak in to see, because I was a rated R, so I had to sneak in. I think I was 14, but you got a homie at the window. So if you watch that now, you understand that's what they were blowing up. They were blowing up a storage space that it was collecting all this data. So I'm talking to my guy, and he's like, hey, if we had the energy and we had the data storage space, we'd be even further with AI. And this is a really smart guy. And he's like, you don't understand, like, we could just take the lid off it. So you're asking me, like, this is nothing for AI to do. What they're doing right here is nothing. So it's I don't know. You were gonna chime in, or did you talk to the same person, or?
Yeah, no, we talked a little bit about it too. I mean, that's the big thing they arguing with China.
It is.
They're getting power.
It is.
And we have so many regulations, it's hard to get power. And so, I mean, I even asked them too. I was like, because that new Sora app came out.
Oh, yeah.
And I told him, I was like, I'm afraid to use it to get all my information and stuff. He was like, they already got it. It kind of made me feel comforted. I'm like, all right, I'm going to use it then.
Yeah.
He was like, bro, they already got your stuff. What are you tripping off of? But
And you know he ain't lying.
Oh, yeah. I totally believe him.
Whatever he tells you, you got to buy it.
Yeah.
You got to buy it. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
People's big thing, though, they say with this, like, this will change it, but the industry will change. Like, everything will change.
It's got to,
So
yeah.
people will come and say, you'll put something out, hey, this is made by a person. And that's to be more valuable now. So the things will just change up. Or I want to go hear someone sing live, like a real person.
Right.
Those tickets are going to go up now to be more valuable because you can't find those things.
Right.
So it becomes a more rare thing.
Right.
So you don't know how the world's really going to change in that
Right.
way. So people won't necessarily just be pushed out completely, but those things will become more rare and more valuable.
If that makes sense. What's going to happen too is you're going to have people who specialize in promptings. So there's a specific. We know this because we use the AI probably a little bit more than anybody here, but it's all about your promptings. It's how you ask the questions and how you do a follow-up questions. So it's about those promptings. And so I think you're going to get people who are just very proficient in how to prompt and how to stimulate the AI and get it going. But I will say this, you just because you mentioned on it about the China thing. This is why, Deshaun, I like talking to you, because you understand that what you see in the news or what you hear, There's always a deeper story. There's something to it. Like if you're not careful, you just hear about, Trump's over here want to do 100% tariffs on China and blah, blah, blah. And they don't ever really tell you the why. And I love it because we talked to our friend and he's over here telling us, hey, listen, we have a huge problem, and he knows China's the problem. And here's why they're the problem. They don't have regulations. And AI, he's so smart. He told me what it takes to run it. And how am I supposed to memorize that, right? I'm just thinking, well, get PG involved, right? I don't know how it works. But because China has no regulations on how they get their energy, nuclear, all this stuff, how they produce their energy, they're able to build these places faster to power the AIs. That's why they're so far ahead of us. People are like, they build a better car. Yeah, because they have no regulations. So the government, matter of fact, if y'all want to do something, go listen to Lucky Palmer and Joe Rogan's talk on the Joe Rogan podcast experience last week. This is a guy who's leading the way. He's like early 30s, and he's like the number one leading person in defense, like building stuff. Like his drones are amazing. Like he's the future, and he's using drones, cheaper drones. And he tells you, he goes in a whole diatribe on why China's whooping our butt and stuff. And it's not that they're smarter than us. This is what everybody thinks. Oh, they're smarter than us. No, they just have no regulations. You have a government and big business that are married together, and that does not happen here. Is that? Yeah.
I mean, they talked about. I mean, on this sort of same subject, the fires that happened down like L.A.
Yeah.
They said they haven't built one house yet. Nothing's been rebuilt yet.
Right.
All because of the regulations.
Yep.
So these are some of the richest people in California, and they can't get their houses rebuilt because of all the regulations they have.
And it's true.
Yeah, and this is what happens a lot in America. You can't move because you have to go through all the red tape.
And where China, they'd have had a whole another village built, in the same day. I know it's hyperbole, but you know what I'm saying. So we say all that to say back to the AI. It's not that they're smarter than us. It's just that they're able to do more faster because of listen, we still lead the world in innovation. I don't know why people get so nervous, but it's great to have innovation. But if you have to jump through 10 hoops, by the time China gets our innovation and then works backwards with it, right? And they basically, there's no copyright infringement over there. They just take our stuff, and what they say is we can make it for half the price, and we can make it now because we don't got to jump through regulations. It's that simple. So, and Trump knows that, and that's why he's trying to do what he's doing, because they're only getting further and faster. They're only going faster and further than us. That's what's going on. So anyway, I only said all that because we're going to be talking about this in a minute with the No Kings Day. So something we got to circle back to. I sent it to you guys. Forrest Frank responds to our homeboy Jelly Roll. So I know it's your guys' favorite artist. I know you guys listen to him on a daily basis. That's Forrest Frank, not Jelly Roll, y'all, so don't trip. But I want to show you Forrest Frank's response to Jelly Roll. I want to get you guys' thoughts on it. Watch this right here.
So I wasn't going to respond to this comment because I didn't want to bring any unnecessary drama. I posted my personal conviction. It triggered a lot of people. I had no idea that was going to happen. But now Fox News has brought it up in People Magazine, so I feel like I'm inclined to speak on it. All I'm gonna say to you, Jelly, is I love this question. This is the question that kept me from making Christian music for so many years, because I didn't want to make a business out of worship music. I didn't want to make a business out of Jesus. And so I actually didn't participate. And then one day I felt like God was telling me to release, I'll call it my quiet time song. And I did. And here's the thing. Legally, it was self-produced and self-written. So legally, that money comes to me. What I do with that money after it legally comes to me, I'm never going to tell anybody, because your left hand isn't supposed to know from your right hand. I might give 90% of my money away. I might give 10% of my money away, somewhere in between, but y'all are never going to know that, because that's my relationship with Jesus. But I love this conversation, and I'm willing to be refined in any area. Anyways, I'm just stoked by this comment. This is something that I would love to figure out. And in the meantime, I'm a safe place for you, bro. Whether that's on the phone or on here on social media, I'm for you, bro. God is for you. He has a plan for your life.
What'd you think of that?
Yeah, you seem like a great man. It's a great response.
Did that blow you away?
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. And I was like, man, even in my own self, I was like, don't be critical of it. And like, it's just like right away you can have something like judgment towards him. And I'm like, man, if he's genuine, like, I don't know, but it's like, man, this is a great response. I was like, this is what Jesus would do.
It was, yeah.
Like this, it's really good.
It was really good. I felt convicted. I'm like, Man, I didn't even harp on you. Like, I was supporting, like, you're convicted, then be convicted. Like, I was for you already. Now I still feel bad. What'd you think when I shared that with you?
Yeah. He listens to Pastor Jerry for sure.
For sure. He's got Pastor Jerry, El Metal himself on dial, bro.
Yeah. What do you say to that? You know,
What do you say to that?
if you're jelly, if you're jelly, what do you say? You know, like, yeah. I mean, it's such a great response. If he's genuinely this nice, and granted, I don't think that people. I used to think that people like this didn't exist. Okay. Now I think there are a few.
Okay. You think he's one of them?
He may be one of them.
Wow.
I met a kid. We used to play baseball together. I thought he was full of it. He was really the nicest guy I've ever met.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So this might be it.
So this is the guy you want living next door to you?
Yeah.
Well, he's the guy you want representing the Christian faith.
Yeah.
The guy that's that big, that's
Yeah.
talks like that's who we want. That's an ambassador.
I mean, Maverick City was cool, but I would prefer him represent.
What'd you
Christian
say?
faith. Maverick
What?
City. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I knew you were going to take a jab. So we can learn from him. He obviously has listened to a lot of Pastor Jerry Dimmer. That's what he's done. Yeah. No, you said something that I think you're right. That's the type of person we want as an ambassador. I mean, he took that on the chin and he wore that well. And
I'm willing to be refined.
I know.
In
Who
any
says
area.
that? Who says that?
And I'm here for you.
Yeah. DM me, reach out to me. And I felt like that was genuine. Like I'll buy your lunch, Jelly.
Yeah.
This is a safe place.
This is
Safe place over here. It's like, bro.
We should just quit our podcast. You know, we're gonna the next half hour is sponsored by Forrest Frank songs. Here you go, right? Like, he's genuinely a good guy. Okay, so I feel like Forrest wouldn't do this, but I got to do this. Okay. Jelly Roll was on TV on the Pat McAfee Game Day show. And he says some things. I don't know. You guys judge for yourself. We're obviously not doing what Forrest Frank would do, but let's do this nonetheless. Watch this.
I'll be honest, Pat. I probably shouldn't say this on national TV, but if this came down to the battle of the growers, I'm riding in Michigan, baby. So we're going to put Big Michigan up there. There go Big Blue, baby. My favorite place to partake in recreational activity in America.
Green thumbs up there.
Hey. Boy, this is
Were the Dove Awards held in Michigan?
No, not that I'm aware of. Okay. So we got to talk about it, but how do we
help Jelly?
Forrest say? Well, Jelly.
Tell Jelly.
It was just a football game. We're not growing anything.
You know, we all have areas of our lives that we're looking to be refined in, Jelly.
So this is okay. Getting serious. This is my whole pushback with Lecrae. I don't know about Miles yet, but he's getting there, and I love him. I still listen to him. So please, before you at me, I was just listening to Lecrae this morning. I was just listening to Miles this morning. Okay, I know you guys don't, but I'm talking about me.
Maybe Deshaun, but not me.
I saw something with Lecrae. Forrest Frank and Lecrae did something together.
Yeah, they did. So
you just fast forward the Lecrae part.
Good one. Here's my problem. When you have people like Miles who do a collaboration with E40, you know this is the same E40 who's going to turn around and do a collaboration with Too Short, Keep the Sneak. You know this is going to happen. You know he's going to go out there and promote his wine. He's going to go out there and promote his weed. My point is, you know they're going to go live this other lifestyle. And when you're the Dove Awards, you know Jelly Roll's still going to be doing his lifestyle. And that's why he says, I don't know if I should say this on TV, but Michigan has better growers. And I'm going to go smoke my weed up in Michigan because for recreational purposes. When are we going to learn you keep platforming these people before they should be platformed? They should have some spiritual depth to them. I understand that there's an awakening happening, that there's something stirring, that there's something going on. Okay, but you don't platform that in front of millions of people, of believers. Now you got people thinking about they can download a Jelly Roll song, right? And it's like, no, this person is still the same person. Am I doing too much, or do you see where I'm coming from?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's who do you want to represent? And right now, who represents the Dove Awards is Jelly Roll, not Forrest Frank. Right. So, like, who do you want? So,
I don't know. Do you see my point in that? Do you see my point in that? Or am I being a stickler here? Am I being too harsh? And by the way, I feel like I'm the out of this in this area of music, I'm the least conservative here. Like I feel like I'm pretty liberal on this compared to you two. But
Well, did you know the Devil Awards was going on until Forrest Frank said something?
I did because I would watch my favorite artist. I mean, me personally.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I didn't know anyone watched that.
I haven't seen an award show since like the MTV Music Awards back in
Oh wow.
2005 or something.
Last time DMX was on, or what? You know what I mean?
Probably.
Okay, but do you see what I'm saying? Like we keep platforming these people, and this is now look. I feel like it's egg on our face is what I'm saying. Not us per se as us three, but as believers. Because Jelly Roll didn't stop being Jelly. That's what I'm saying. He could get up there and do his old speech and stuff. And I know he's going to roll back to, well, I'm a work in progress. Okay, even if he's a work in progress, you don't go on national. This is, you would know, this is the largest show, isn't it, on ESPN, the Pat McAfee show?
It's game day, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, he has the largest show, right?
Pat McAfee's got to be up there.
Yeah, he might have the largest shot at ESPN.
I think he has the I think they paid him isn't that the whole beef with everybody? They paid him the most money.
But that show specifically, game day, is a huge show
for all college age, right? For nationally, and that was a big game. I don't know. Go ahead. You were gonna say.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I understand that people like the idea of like collabs because it's bringing two different worlds together. I get that. I get the idea of like, you know, fishing in a secular pond to hopefully try to get somebody over to become a believer. I like that, but I mean, let's just not call it Christian music. Let's call it something different.
Okay.
Let's not put it on the Christian radio stations. Let's not put it on the Devil Awards. And let's let the secular radio stations and the secular, you know, TV shows and stuff. Let's have them run it rather than it be ran on, vice versa, like on the other side.
And by the way, we tell everybody chime in if you disagree with us. That's fine. We just this is where we feel we have to stand. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with where we're standing. I think it's rather biblical. I think Paul even talks about promoting a novice before they're ready. You have to be real careful. I want to ask you guys a question. By the way, everybody's entitled to have their own opinion on that. This is just where I stand because of this stuff like this. That's all. So I'm going to go ahead and say Forrest Frank, FTW, for the win. Forrest Frank for the win. That's just my opinion. Okay. I got to ask you guys a question. So this last weekend, on Saturday, we had the No Kings Day. It was a big protest against, well, I suppose it was against President Trump and his policies. I have no problem personally as an American with people protesting. Our nation was founded on protesting. I think it could be healthy. I think it'd be good. I just have one question, and I was literally just driving thinking about this. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I just was looking at it from a biblical perspective. Should Christians, as believers, should we participate in protests of any sort, whether it's this one, Prop 50, when we did the COVID stuff? Should Christians, should they protest? Should they participate in a protest? And by the way, I know this is just you guys' opinions. I just love to hear your opinions. What do you think? Should Christians protest?
I'm okay with Christians peacefully protesting.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's part of our society in how, you know, we make our voices be heard.
Okay.
And so just like voting and all different things like that, like I think it's okay. So.
Okay.
You know.
What about you?
Excuse me. I think that I'm okay with it, but I think that what you have to be careful with is that you can start to become a part of a larger crowd that you may not be okay with.
Oh, go ahead. Expound on that a little bit.
And so, I mean, if you have 10 people who are going to peacefully protest against the school boards, you know, running out certain kind of curriculum, you have a lot of control in who you're going with and who those 10 people are. If you do a protest of 5,000 in the streets at Capitol Hill, all of a sudden it's like there, you know, a lot of people may end up doing different things that you're not okay with, and now you have lumped yourself in with them. And so the idea of pushing back against things that you feel are against your values and against your beliefs, like I'm okay with that, but you got to be careful with who you align yourself with.
So my question, is this doing something as an American citizen, or is this doing something as a believer?
I think both. So is voting, you go to vote, that's not something you have to do as a believer. but you're voting your values. And that's the way you can bring change into our community.
Oh, okay.
If that makes sense. This is your way to actually be part of the community and really express your values.
Okay.
Like I think Christians should go vote, especially in our local elections.
Okay.
Like, because it matters who your mayor is, who your council members are,
That
and you want
does
someone
matter.
that lines up with your views. But as a Christian, do you have to vote? No. But that is the way our society works, how you can affect the society and the culture around us.
Okay. So is there an obligation then? Is there an obligation for believers? Like, are we obligated to do this, or is this still a choice we make? As you see it biblically, is this an obligation or just something we still get to choose to do, whether protest or vote, or both? We in the deep end of the pool on this one.
Yeah, I guess I don't really see the obligation, like you have to, but maybe it's one of those things where you also can't say anything when it doesn't go your way.
That's a good point.
We're called to make a change in our culture,
Right.
in our community. So what are the ways you can do it legally?
Right.
It may change your community. So I think if you genuinely want to make an impact, you're probably going to go these directions.
Okay.
Someone might be like to run for city council. As a believer, do you have to do that?
Right.
But no, you might feel like God's leading you that way because you can make a bigger impact on the culture.
So my question to you, which by the way, I don't disagree with any of you guys' answers. I think they're well articulated. My question to you is, so it just matters what you're protesting? Is that what I'm hearing? It matters on who you're protesting for and what you're actually protesting?
Yeah, do they line up with biblical views?
Oh, okay.
Well, I think how you protest also matters.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's the what, the when, the where, the why, the
Yeah,
how.
yeah.
Okay. No, I agree with you guys on that. It was just a question I had. And the only reason I had that question is I probably should have stayed off social media that day, but I was watching as Christians were going back and forth on it. And here's my thing, and you tell me if I'm missing the pulse of this. What I'm always real leery of is if you really want people to understand you, and you really want people to see what your angst is and what you're really against, then you probably want to do a better job listening to yourself to see where they're coming from. Because what I've noticed is when this type of stuff happens, everybody just runs to their echo chambers. They really don't sit across from somebody and say, hey, help me to see it the way you see it. And then I just want you to hear it from my perspective. And no greater point in this, if I could just submit this to you too, was with the whole peace deal going on in Israel. Now, people made a big deal. There's a little dust up this weekend, which they said on national TV there's probably going to be some dust ups because it's just Israel. I mean, you guys know this already because you've been there. And the big thing was you had a segment of people who were saying Trump didn't do anything. You know, Joe Biden got more hostages released. I mean, it was this whole thing of echo chambers. And I've never quoted Bill Maher so much in my entire life, okay? But he had Mark Cuban on, and these two, and I've really never, ever really quoted Mark Cuban. Let's just be real. And these two said something that I just thought was completely right. They said, at the end of the day, if it's a win for the nation and it's a win globally, can you not just celebrate the win?
Wow, Mark Cuban said that.
Yes. And Bill Maher goes, absolutely. And this is why nobody can sit down and talk to each other. It's a win globally. It's a win globally. Why can't you just say, hey, hats off to you, great job. You're able to do what most people weren't able to do. They're saying this is shaping out with the Abraham Accords to be Reagan-esque type thing with what happened with Moscow, what happened with Russia. And it's like, and then they're saying if this guy can end the Ukraine-Russian war, my gosh, he might just be nominated for sainthood. We're not saying that, but you know what I'm saying, just the ramifications of this. And yet you got people going, well, if he does that, then he must have something on Putin. Like, you can't celebrate the win. We can't be so narrow-sighted, right? So short-sighted that we don't know how to celebrate wins. This is getting really bad then. Because if it's a win for everybody, just celebrate the win. And by the way, celebrating the win don't mean you like the guy. Bill Maher quickly, I hate that mother, you know what I mean? And you know, I can't stand him, but he got to win. I don't know. Do you see what I'm saying? That's the only part that concerns me is we just keep running back to our own echo chambers and not really trying to have dialogue with people. I don't know. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, like you have to come back to your why. Why are you saying this? Why are you protesting this? What's the argument? And then what's the right way of going about it? You know, your boss could be treating you bad at work. Then people aren't getting their breaks. Well, don't go big protest. Like go talk to your boss. Like, hey, we're not getting our breaks. Didn't even go talk to their boss. Then eventually, if you keep getting mistreated, then like, all right, get everyone together. But that's a process. It's not just go to the extremes right away.
Right.
Figure out the why and what's the right way to go about it. And because the way you do it matters, because people see you, and then it's hard to share faith when you're doing stuff stupidly.
Oh, okay. No, well, I just got it funny because I was thinking about 25 people in the break room. No, we protested. A little strike. But I love that you said go to your boss, then talk to the people, talk to some management. See, that's what I'm talking about. But I think too, Bishop, this is just me. I think people just need to talk more. I think people need to have conversations. I saw a friend of mine who's very level-headed, very cool guy, very, very good neighbor, very Forrest Frank like. How about that? He said, listen, I have friends that are Democrats, and I love them. I have friends that are Republican, and I love them. And the reason I'm able to love them is because I'm able to talk to them. I'm able to have real good conversations, and none of us hold prejudgments, and none of us are judgmental. And we all agree, even if we don't agree on the same point together, we're still going to remain a community. He got eviscerated, absolutely lit up on social media. And I'm over here getting ready to respond like, bro, that was the best thing I've heard in a long time. That was really well said. I'm very proud of you. And then I started reading the comments. I think that's where I made the mistake. I probably should have just posted it and left. Like, that's one of the ones you post and dip out, right? You'd have thought he said, go love Satan or something. Like, it was so bad on both sides. And I was like, here's a guy who had a real, genuine biblical approach and just saying, I'm going to love people. And people, you'd have thought they were yelling, crucify the guy. And I'm like, that's where we're at. And that's what makes me most upset, is we can't have good dialogue and be able to say at the end of the day, I'm still going to like you because I choose to love you because you're my friend. So anyway, so if that makes any sense at all. So, okay. So something that's coming up for us that I think we need to talk about because people have asked me is, are you guys all familiar with Prop 50? Prop 50 that's coming. This is all local, so if you guys aren't where we're at, some of your states are probably doing this. This is the redistricting. I'm going to read it for you. Proposition 50 says this: will let the California state legislature, instead of independent citizens commissions, draw new congregational district maps to be used in the 2026, 2028, and 2030 elections. It's pitched as a temporary change until after the 2030 census, when the commission would regain authority. The Republican stance is they oppose Prop 50, calling it a political power grab that dismantles independent redistricting and opens the door to gerrymandering. Democrats support Prop 50, framing it as a necessary step to counter Republican-drawn maps in other states and protect its fair representation for Congress. Okay. Where did you get that from, by the way? Chat GPT. This is actually a very well-balanced perspective. This all started by Governor Newsom because of what Governor Abbott did in Texas. In Texas, they decided to redraw the district maps. I don't know the reason. I don't care the reason. Texas is its own country anyway, so I really don't care, if that makes any sense. But the big dust-up was this is going to add like 15 to 20 new Republican seats in the House. I doubt it's going to add that many, but this is what everybody was hyperbole. Governor Newsom came on. He did his whole, this is what he does a lot. If we do this, then we're going to do that, and we got to do that. How was that? Was that good? That was good, wasn't it? Did you guys like that? He didn't have the Pastor Jerry picture up, so I nothing to stop me.
Come on, guys.
So what happened was he came out and he made a threat. He said, I told Greg Abbott, if he does that, we're going to do that in California. So that's where we're at. They decided to redistrict these maps, and this is why the Prop 50. But you have to have it up for a vote.
I can't believe you did that. Well, we're going to do it too.
That's exactly what it was. So here's where I'm at. I tell people like this. You don't fight disenfranchisement by disenfranchising other people. That's not how you do this. You don't go just because Texas is doing it, we're going to do it. This is not how it's supposed to be. And they're saying, well, we're already going to do this. People don't understand how blue California already is. What are you really hoping to gain out of this?
Well, it doesn't change anything for the state of California.
No.
It changes Congress. That's what they're fighting about.
That's it. You don't get more senators. You're supposed to get more House representatives. Mm-hmm. But it's already blue. It's so unbalanced right now. It's ridiculous. So what? You're going to do this? Some people are saying it's for as little as 8 seats, as much as 12. Could be as few as 4 or 6 if people get upset. You're going to do all this. You're going to spend this. It's costing hundreds of millions of dollars when we don't have hundreds of millions of dollars. on the taxpayers. You could hire law enforcement, firefighters, teachers, class aides for schools. And this is what we're doing. And once again, all we're doing is we're throwing our set up. We're siding up over here. I don't know. What is your thoughts after reading that?
I still don't know enough. I just know how it affects. My assumption is they're trying to help the presidents out. If they have someone in power, they'll have the House and they can get more stuff done, or they can stop the Republican president, if he's in office, from doing anything, because they have the control of the House. So,
right. What's your thoughts? And I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But go ahead. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, stuff like this is what I think a lot of people who are in the middle just makes you want to just tap out of politics.
It does.
It's like why the guy in Texas did it. His motives were probably bad.
Probably.
Yeah. And he's on the right. And why is Newsom doing it? And he's on the left. His motives are probably bad. And
they're telling us their motives. So there's no, we can draw an assumption. It's not an assumption. Excuse me. We can have a thought about it because they're telling us the motives.
And so it's like, and it's going to cost people money that we don't have. And it's typical politics where it's like, we're going to play with your time, your money, your lives.
But it's not even permanent.
So but when you don't care, you don't care. Like, he doesn't care.
And I think yes, I agree with both of you. It's probably bad motives all the way around. So the thing that they keep harping on, okay, so now what? So now that California did it, is Florida going to do it? In other words, there's so many red states that haven't done it. You're still going to lose if they all jump on it. But the thing is, what makes me upset is you keep disenfranchising people. So if you're in a red state, you're going to disenfranchise the people who are Democrats. If you're in a Democratic state like yours, you're going to disenfranchise people from even voting because it's not going to matter. Because you suck in half of San Jose into a city like Avenal. Okay, well, then why are we even voting for anything in Avenal? Because it's not going to matter. It's a redistrict. That's all I'm saying. It's like, this is just stupid. And you're right. People who are in the middle, who really want to do things fairly, get frustrated. And this is what they get frustrated at. So I'm not telling you how to vote. Do whatever you want to do. But this is the truth of what's going on. People ask me, what does it actually mean? That's what it means. It's a redistricting just to get more seats in Congress. That's really what it is. We're doing all this for some seats in Congress. So, okay. And people, by the way, people are going to make that a big deal. Well, it's the seats that matter because we could have got this voted on. Okay. But then the other states are going to do it. We're right back tick for tat. That's all we're going to do. Let's talk about something more interesting and that we probably have more knowledge on. The book of Revelation. I noticed how none of you chimed in right away.
Man, I really hope you guys got that knowledge.
Okay. Somebody asked me today in my group, they said, how am I supposed to understand the book of Revelation? You ready for my quick-witted response? I'm going to quote one of my old mentors. He said, Anthony, if you want to understand the book of Revelation, it takes all 65 books to understand the 66th book. So get to reading the rest of it. That was my response this morning.
I just think it may be like when you die, you'll figure it out.
That's the 66th book, death, the Revelation of death.
67th book.
Right there, death. What do you do with Revelation? You've been reading the Bible longer than any of us. What do you do with it?
I don't know if any longer than any of us, but I don't know. Just read it. Read it and pray.
What's your Devo life looking like?
God is sovereign. Yeah, pretty much.
So today was a mystery.
Yeah.
So some things are just a mystery.
Oh yeah, 1 foot in the water, 1 foot in the land. God's in control of everything. Symbolism.
He was over there talking about and had the head of a lotus and the teeth of a dragon. I'm over here trying to doodle it. Did it kind of look like that? I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So yeah, today it was like, you know what? Only God knows. And that's exactly how he wants it. And the rest of y'all got to deal with it. If he wanted you to know, you'd know.
Yeah, keep that secret.
Keep that secret.
Roll that back up.
Keep the scroll. Don't write it down, right?
Eat it.
No, it tastes good, but it was bitter, so don't eat it.
It was bitter.
Well, yeah. So it's like the word. So another time, it's like the word of God. It tastes good going in, but sometimes it hurts a little bit to do what it's.
It doesn't sit right.
It doesn't sit right.
Doesn't sit right.
But you still gotta do it.
Gosh, people ask me though. That's the number one question I get. How do I read Revelation? What do you tell them? How do I read Revelation?
So I said, if you're really wanting to know, you can use different. You can use commentaries to try to read up on it.
Okay.
You can do a study. There's different like YouTube people, like Jimmy Evans.
Okay.
Jimmy Evans talks about Revelation a lot.
All right.
So he talks about end time prophecy. So he'll bring people onto his show and they'll kind of like break things down. Listen to it. Still don't understand, but it was good. I was gonna share it, but then I was like, people might ask me questions about it, and I was like, I don't know. It was just good. It was good. You trust God knows what He's doing with what He put in the Bible.
Okay. I like his answer. I might just steal that.
Yeah, I have a study Bible too, like on my phone. So I'll read it and then I'll go read the study Bible, and so it'll give me some details. I mean, that's how I got the foot on water, the land, the bitter, the sweetness, and the bitter. So yeah, so I use a lot.
I feel like we should put a little segment of Revelation in like Rogue or ChatGPT where it's describing an animal and tell it to create us an AI image. Yeah. I wonder what it'd come up with. It'd be looking freaky. It'd be looking crazy. I got a few tips for reading the book of Revelation. You ready? Here's Anthony's tips. We're gonna just boom, boom, boom. Anthony's tip. Tip number 1: do not read it at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. That's a good tip. You like that one?
Although there usually is only like 15 verses, which is nice.
But don't read it at 1 or 2. You're gonna have some weird dreams. Tip number 2. What you don't know, you don't know, so don't try to make it up. Just don't even try to go there. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to put 2 and 2 together. Don't think 3 and 3. And last but not least, number 3, be careful what you read about what you just read, because these are people who are all grasping at the wind. Mm-hmm. There are no real experts in the book of Revelation. Be careful, right? Especially if you're at 1 o'clock in the morning, you're going down the rabbit hole. Get out of the rabbit hole. Go do something else. Go to sleep. Just get some rest. Close your eyes. Put on Jelly Roll and
oh, Jelly.
Somebody save me, right? Save me from myself. Okay, that's it. But people get carried away. They're trying to listen. I sat down. One of the first memories I had, I was probably saved 3-4 years. I got invited to an old man's Bible study. The difference between Bible study and old man Bible study. Old man Bible studies, they be bringing in Bibles, commentators, and they on a single thing, and they could talk 2, 3, 4 hours. Okay. So I was invited to an old man's Bible study, and they were going through the book of Revelation, and they just happened to be on the 2 witnesses. I was so lost. Who are the 2 witnesses? And they had more Bible knowledge and experience. They were going back. I was watching a real sword fight. Just slicing and dicing each other with the word. You know what I walked out of there thinking? I'm nowhere near where they are. And if they can't figure it out, guess what? Mm-hmm. I ain't going to figure it out. So, old man Bible study. Be careful.
I can't remember if it was today or yesterday, over chapter 9 or 10, that 1/3 of the earth was killed.
Yesterday, I think.
Was yesterday?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they still didn't repent.
Yeah.
They still had hard hearts. It was like 1/3 of the earth just got killed.
And he's still stubborn.
Like, nah, I'm gonna keep sleeping with her.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm
like, sinning is winning. Sinning is winning.
Probably looking at him like, yeah, he was bad. He deserved it.
Yeah.
I'm not doing half his sins.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy. The hardness of man's heart.
Hey, it tells you how stubborn we are. The hardest thing that penetrates between our 2 ears, I'm telling you, it's as hard as a rock. So, okay, that's my tips for Revelation. Okay, let's talk about the message. I wanted to ask you. I meant to ask you yesterday, but we were talking to a lot of people. What are your thoughts on the fivefold ministry, or how you were taught about the fivefold ministry?
I never heard it till I was here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So, in the Baptist church, who's over the pastors, like the elders, presbyters?
Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you for sure. I know they're part of the denomination, but then the church, like the deacons, there'll be like a board, and they go find a pastor and hire that pastor. In terms of like who will actually maybe could they fire him? I don't know. I don't know enough about the government structure.
So let me just understand you. So you knew pastors. Did you know anything about evangelists?
No.
So it's just pastors and teachers.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. Yeah. Okay.
There probably was some, but
Okay.
now that I can't remember.
So having said that, what are your thoughts on Ephesians 4 and when he breaks down the 5 gifts? What are your thoughts on that now when you read that? What do you think?
So the apostle and the prophet. I don't know. I don't know.
No, go ahead. Like what's your thoughts?
I mean, obviously, I believe in them. Especially, I believe obviously everyone agrees that the pastors, you have evangelists, you have the teacher. I mean, most pastors have a preacher teacher, a pastor teacher.
Yeah, they do.
The prophet, I mean, the J. LaRue, like really, this last time he came, made me more okay with it, and just the way he explained stuff and just broke it down. And really, it was his submission to the church, like in his love for the church, like that changed everything for me. Because you have this idea of who they are, and it's almost like they're this rogue people, just walking around saying like everyone's going to hell, like almost this kind. But this last conversation I had with him, like his love for the church, I was like, oh man, you're actually here to build up the church. Like I see how that works now. The apostle, I don't know. I still don't know, like how that works. What does it mean? Like today in the culture. Like
when you
church.
see it in the New Testament, though, and I was explaining a little bit yesterday when you see it in the New Testament, did you see some primary roles and functions?
Establishing churches.
Right. So if you would say, in my best guess assessment, that one of the main demarcations of an apostle is they establish a church. Break down what you feel like establishing a church means.
Just you're literally just going out and from the ground up, like you're finding people, drawing people together. Basically, I mean, if you see it in a church, like they're really getting people saved. Find a leader, put them in place, and they keep going.
So what I'm hearing you say is this apostle has an ability, a calling, a gifting from Jesus, because that's who it's at Ephesians 4. It's not from the Father, it's not from the Spirit, it's from Jesus, that he goes in. And remember, Jesus did say, I will build my church. That was his words. Not the Holy Spirit's, not the Father's. That was Jesus' words. And here's what he said. So an apostle goes in. He's able to establish a liturgy, what we would say is a Sunday service, if we could, probably Saturday or Sunday back then. Not only did he establish the service, he also had an innate ability to raise up leaders to continue the work once it was established. And I sent Titus to you, and I sent Timothy to you. I left Silas and Trophimus, right? So we see this. So we see these demarcations. Okay, just hold on to that thought. I feel like we could even say it's a little easier to describe the apostle compared to the prophet. The prophet seems to be the ambiguous one, the vague one, because we see certain prophetic things done by different prophetic people in the New Testament. We got Agabus prophesying to Paul, you're going to die in Rome, they're going to bind you. We got the daughters of one of the prophets prophesying that there's going to be a harvest. We had one prophesy there was going to be a drought. So we see these different functions. So really, I'm asking you, so really, I feel like it's the prophet one that seems to be the one that's a little foggy as compared to now that we just walked through the apostle. I don't know. Just throwing this out there.
Yeah, I think it would be like we talked about before, like how they will prophesy something is not clear. It's still like this fogginess. So you're like, what are you saying? Like, what does this actually mean? And so that leaves you off. Like, because you see even some this is in the Old Testament, like it was specific. And you see, in the New Testament, you see specific things and they'll happen. Yeah. So it was clear, like, what they're talking about. But you see a lot of prophecy in the Old Testament, especially, where it's like, it's not clear. Like, what does all that mean? So, I mean, that's what people were trying to break down. What does all this mean? Right. And so it's, so for everyone, I think it could be a little bit confusion. Like, you don't fully understand what they're saying in the first place. Okay. So it's like, how's this going to play out?
So why do you feel like the pastor's role is so easily identified and legitimized? Why do you feel like that, the pastor's role?
Because your job is to love and care for people.
That was it?
Yeah. Okay. Like more than anything else is to love and care for people. And then
you feel and I even feel like the evangelist has a pretty year to go out, win people, to mobilize them, to get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you basically just keep moving on. Like.
Yeah. Well, we see that with Philip the evangelist. He just kept moving on. Yeah. Okay. And then the teacher, I feel like, because we live in a pretty educational world, the teacher was like really self-explained, right? Like, oh, okay, we all get that. Mike, you're relatively not new to the church, but your experience still is a new one, not growing up in the church. And so for you, that you've been with me for a long time, like this is all you really know. Do you feel like even still today, when we talk about apostles and prophets, you can find yourself going like, I don't know about this, or what is this, or you see a bad example of that, or what are your thoughts on apostles and prophets?
Yeah, I think what I mean, I'm naturally leery to it just because it wasn't ingrained in me growing up. And then you see like bad examples of it on TV. So you're kind of like, I don't know about this. And then when people have like self-appointed titles, it's I'm the prophet so-and-so, and you're kind of like, I don't know about that. What is it? What exactly does that mean? So like Deshaun said, like Jay LaRue really he helped me out a lot. There's still part of like prophecy that I am not fully confident in, but it's kind of like revelation in the sense of I don't fully understand it, but I'm not going to throw it out. So when I see, like, you'll present stuff where it's prophetic stuff, and I'm like, I don't really understand it, but I'm not like dismissing it.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to like the apostleship, like, I have seen, like, within maybe like last 5 or so years, I think I've been able to see it a little bit more where certain people do really have that gift mix of like starting churches. And what does that look like? Like recognizing leaders, recognizing who the right person is to be appointed, and structuring that church in a certain way so that it would grow, recognizing demographics, recognizing, gift mixes. And so I think that is a gift, being able to see into people and pull that out of people. And so, I don't know. I think for me, one of the hardest hurdles that I have is like when people give themselves titles. So whether that be like pastor, apostle, prophet, bishop, I'm always kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I see where you guys are coming from. So let's just dig down a little bit. I have it somewhere on my phone. I was looking for it, but I said my favorite slide. And I think you guys remember me saying this is my favorite slide. I gave them kind of like little one-word definitions. And the one that I like the most is it said apostle is about the mission. The prophet is about the vision. You know which one I'm talking about now? I think you probably took a picture of it. The reason I like that one is that's what the apostle feels this heavy weight of the mission. Yeah, perfect. If I get any of them wrong, you can just correct me. And they feel this heavy weight of the mission, which is like, I'm going to this next city because I absolutely have to get this off my back. If that makes any sense. I'm going to use a term that we all understand, like the monkey off my back. And they're radically driven by the mission. A great indication of this is Paul. And when Agabus tells him, you're going to go die. They're going to bind you. They're going to put you in chains and all this. And he goes, I got to go. Like, I don't care. This isn't going to stop me. It's the same guy who gets beat up and left for dead and goes right back to the city. It's like, why? Because Timothy's there. And I got to get back there. Remember, that's what you were saying. There's this mission. And I love this quote. I heard this quote from Pastor Herzog, and he got it from somebody else. I don't know who he got it. He quoted, I can't remember who he quoted, pardon me. He said, Paul was the perfect missionary. Now, let me tell you why. He was a Roman by citizenship. And we know that because Paul tells the guy, I was born a Roman. And he goes, I had to pay for mine. Remember that? Number 2, he was Greek by everything else. So I would say Greek culturally. He understood the philosophers. He understood all these different things. He understood the Greek way of life. He knew how to do the trade, the shipping, all that. He was a Jew, ethnically and religiously, right? Studied under Gamaliel, was a Jew from the tribe of Benjamin, a Hebrew of Hebrews is what he called himself. But watch this. He was a Christian spiritually. His whole next breath was for the church that Jesus died for. He had this burden. He was the ultimate person to do what he was doing. Why am I telling you guys all this? Because that's the mission he felt. And I thought, and I don't know if this helped you guys or if you guys liked it or if you think people appreciate it, but I said the goal of the church is that lost people would get saved. Maybe you took a picture of that one too. That saved people would be pastored people would be discipled, and discipled people would be mobilized. You guys remember that now? Mm-hmm. And that's the mission. That's the mission that the apostles feel. That's why they're like, drop me off anywhere and I'll go get this mug started because I have to. I say prophets have the vision. In other words, they help the apostle to stay on task. They help the apostle with certain things they see coming too, like, hey, there's going to be a famine. Paul immediately starts GoFundMe for the church in Israel, right? He's like, hey, I got to do this. So I say the prophet helps to keep the church on mission, right? When the apostle's gone, the prophet's coming in. It's, hey, we got off mission a little bit. Let's put the train back on the tracks, blah, blah, blah. Then I say the evangelist, right? He mobilizes. He literally, what did it say? The evangelist, you got the mission, you got the vision.
Logical thinker, implementer.
He's an implementer. He goes, you know what? He's got to come in. Hey, we got to get people for this. Hey, we're down 10 volunteers here. He's the rally person. He's got a deep command. And then you got the pastor. Yo, he's the compassion. He's got all the compassion. He's got to love and care for the flock. And then, of course, you know, you got the teachers, which they do the teaching, right? They have the passion for the Word of God and to teach people. Wes Huff is a great teacher. That's a great person. John MacArthur, phenomenal teacher. He wanted people to know their Bible. I say all that to say this. I think there are apostles amongst us. I think there are people, and I mean this sincerely, you could drop them off in a country where they don't know the language and they'll still be able to start a church. They'll figure it out. They'll just figure it out. And it's because Jesus himself gave them an anointing to do this. I don't know. Did that help at all? I mean, did that make any sense to you? Like how I was breaking that down?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Yeah, of sort of what we see in Scripture, and how it builds up the church. I mean, that's the whole reason it said is to build up the church.
Build up the church.
And so I think that's where things maybe just get out of focus. It's like, is this building up the church, or are we just doing things to give ourselves titles? Like Mike was saying, is to have titles. I was like, okay, how is that title building up the church?
Yeah. What did you guys think about? There was only one part I felt that I had to be a little bit cautious yesterday. And that was when I was talking about people who have been at our church before, who have their own churches now. And I was definitely talking about, listen, there's one thing to be sent, and then there's another thing to buy a microphone and went. And I hopefully I did a good job of saying I love the people. I recognize the call of God on their lives. I've prophesied those call of God's on their life. Like I've seen the same thing that people see. But I think it does matter on how you're sent. What did you think about when I was talking about that?
Yeah, I talked to another pastor last week who wanted to start another church in close to one of our campuses. And I mean, the first question I asked him was like, you talked to your pastor, and before you decide to go launch your own church. I was like, we don't believe we start new churches off church splits or because you're mad about something. And so, I mean, he said, he's like, no, I'll talk to my pastor. He supports me. We're still working through what does it look like and timing and things like that. But submit it to his pastor, and his pastor sees something in him, and it's the right way to go about it.
What made you start off with that question first, though?
I don't know, something you talked about before. Yeah. Doesn't mean this is as like, other pastors.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Mike? What'd you think when I was talking about it? Did you get a little nervous for me? You're like, oh, snap. Where's he going? Where's he going with this?
No, I didn't get nervous for you. But can I ask him a question?
Yeah, of course.
So when you came to our church, you had something similar to an extent. I mean, obviously you weren't like starting a church, but I mean, you want to kind of expand on like how you came to Adventure from your previous church?
Yeah, talking to Pastor Anthony. Pastor Anthony had mentioned he wanted me to come over here, and I wanted to as well, as we got to know each other, work out Smart Final. So I went to my pastor and asked and talked to him, told him this is why I feel, like I want to go. And he said, okay. And so I sort of had a time in place, and then I told him, okay, this is when we're going to go. And then he actually told me, no, you got to stay another Sunday. And I was like, okay, so I'll stay another Sunday. Then, he brought me from the church, let him know, and then sent me off with a letter to get to Pastor Anthony, let him know that I left the church in good standing.
But why did you feel like that was important? Or like, why did you do that?
I mean, he was my pastor. I mean, that's sort of what I was taught. Like, I respected him. Like, he did a lot for my life. Like, he did a lot for me. Like, in coming to faith and continuing my faith, and gave me a lot of opportunities. And you get pastored because you decide to get pastored. A pastor doesn't get to just pastor you. Like, you have to choose as a person to allow a pastor to speak into your life. And I believe there's a blessing behind it, because this is the way God established it. So for me to leave, is like, I got to honor him because God had put him in my life. And then if he would have told me not yet, I would have waited. But because he loved and cared for me, he let me go. So
those are great questions. I think we've lost that, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, people.
I'm talking about Big C Church. We've lost that.
Yeah, I mean, this idea of honoring this pastors and letting them be truly like, people just don't like to be told anything. You just want to be free. Also, people want to have their own YouTube channel, so you got to have a boss that can do whatever they want, make cool videos, and just be, make your money the way you want to make it, sleep in how you want to, the way how late as you want. But it's like having the authority of your life. No one likes that. Like, right. Everyone wants to be free from the parents, from the boss, from everyone. But it's like, that's not how God established things.
I think it shows we've lost that, though. We went all Mark Driscoll on people. If your pastor didn't mention Charlie Kirk, I got me a list. Here's the churches you should go to. Instead of just saying, no, I really like to hear my pastor's heart on why he didn't do that, because I trust the man of God that the Lord has placed in my life. And I really do want to hear his heart, because, when my marriage was bad, I couldn't call Mark. I couldn't email him. I couldn't DM him in his Instagram. But I was able to get a hold of my pastor. When my kid was sick, Mark didn't show up to the hospital to pray. My pastor did. And people forget that, right? And I think that's what's missing. So I at least owe him a conversation before I get offended, whether he did or didn't mention anything. And I think that's what's missing. And there's no integrity. And it goes to what I was talking about yesterday. It was just funny. It's the only time I felt any hot water, but was talking about that, because I don't have anything in my heart. I would tell these people they're still called of God. That's not what I'm saying. But did you leave the right way, though? That's what I'm saying, and that matters, and it will catch up to you, right? That's all I'm saying. And I'm not the judge and jury on that. God will show you if you left the right way or not me. And so I ain't tripping. Brings me to this point, which you keep saying, is I allowed my pastor to pastor me. I said yesterday, and I stand behind this 100%. I said, y'all at Adventure Church, you're pastored very, very, very well. I know you guys love the sheep. That's why I trust you with the sheep. I know you guys would do anything for them. You go out of your way. You care for them. The things we do is proof that you do. And we do it not looking for anything in return. Because the good majority of people we help, they what are they going to give us? We're just doing this because God has called us to love our sheep. My concern is that pastor people would be discipled. And that discipleship onus is not on us. It's on you. You chose to be discipled. You could have did what half of your generation did. You ain't going to tell me where I can go to church and what I'm going to do. I'm going to serve God. I'm going to stand on business right now. This is what I'm going to do. And you could have left. Instead, you said, if he wanted me to be here 4 more Sundays, I'd have just told Aunt, hey, I got to be here 4 more Sundays. You know what I would have said? Go be there 4 more Sundays. Every time he's asked you to come back and preach, go preach. Well, I don't know why you're asking me. I mean, out of respect, but go if God gave you a word, go speak a word. And, I'm take all the God kids, take your wife, go show them what God is doing. Absolutely. How can we help them? To me, we've lost that, and it shows. But you choose to be discipled. You choose to be discipled. And I think that's what's missing. We could offer all the classes in the world, but I can't show up to Kairos for you. Right? So I'm saying, and you can see the light bulbs going off on people like, hey, discipleship is my choice. Absolutely. I don't know what you think about when I brought that up. I kind of went in on them a little bit like, hey, y'all being pastored well, trust me, y'all taken care of. But you got to choose to be disciple. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, that's a point that I really, I pray that people would really understand, because it's, I don't know if I'm sure there's a different word, but I'm going to choose the word sad. It's sad when you see somebody who is old in age, but spiritually immature, and they've been in church a long time, and there really isn't fruit from it. And it's just like, man, that's just sad. It's sad that there's so much in you that God wants to bring out of you, but that's your choice that you continue to dam that blessing up. Mm-hmm. And when you do that, it not only hurts you, but it hurts everybody else around you. So does. And you could be a better grandma, a better grandpa, generationally have stuff changed in your family's life because of what you could have done, but yet you continue to just push back. And so it's like, I really pray hey, man, people recognize that. I mean, that was a point in my spiritual journey where I was like, well, you need to be involved in every decision. And remember, you're like, no, I'm only involved in the decisions that you allow me to be in. And that was in regards to a decision that I make, and that was probably the worst decision that I had ever made and have ever made in my marriage, and it hurt our family. And obviously, like, it wasn't like detrimental to our family, but I look back and it's because literally I didn't allow myself to be under the covering of who you are in my life. And so knowing that and seeing how people can just really stunt their growth on their own like decisions, it's like just allow it, just do it.
What about you? What do you think about when I made that statement? Like, you guys are pastoral. Now, by the way, can I say, I wasn't saying that to brag on us and be arrogant, if that makes any sense. I wasn't saying that as a point of being pompous, like, oh, look at us, we pastor well. No, I was just saying, like, I know the people we have around us, they love people. Like, I'm thinking about all of our wives. They stay up late talking to people, praying with people, freedom sessions with people, and we tapping out early. We're like, if you need a freedom session, I'll call you 5 a.m, but you want to stay up past 8, like, you better call our wife. They don't want to stay up. But Raquel works 40 hours a week. She's in grad school, and she's still helping people out. People don't do that. Most people don't even know your wife's in a doctoral program for grad school, the highest you can get. And she's working full time, and yet she'll still take a phone call. You see what I'm saying? Like she better than I am.
Well,
you know what I mean?
And then, to the defense of the people, like, sometimes you just don't know how good you've got it because you don't know what to compare it to.
Okay, you're right.
But whereas right. I think that you have that understanding. So yeah, you. But
I'm saying I just don't want people to think we were being arrogant when I said you're being pastoral. That's just because it not gonna lie, it could sound arrogant. I mean, it just could. I'm getting up there and be like, hey, and you guys are pastored really well. I'm kind of like telling you, hey, this is the best food you've ever eaten. And you're like, but I haven't even taken a bite yet. But I'm like saying it is. I just want to make sure people know I didn't mean it as a point of pride or conjecture. I just meant it as, listen, we are giving you everything we got in pastoring. That's all I meant it as. And it's compared to like, but discipleship is your part. That's all I was meaning. But I don't also get us in hot trouble like, oh, they just think they the pastor's pastor. Not really. We're just telling you we're trying our best. That's all. You were going to say about when I talk about the discipleship part?
Yeah, we were trying our best to make sure people know that they can go out and do ministry. That's the whole purpose, is to build them up. And so the whole discipleship program, the thought behind it is like, hey, you can go and pastor and disciple other people. And so there's people, I was talking to someone just yesterday and just thinking like, man, their background but the way they keep saying yes to Jesus. I'm like, man, I was thinking like, man, we got to get this guy discipled even more because he can make a huge impact. And that's what we want to see is like, hey, you get to go make changes in your family, your coworkers, someone at the grocery store, people you get to go do ministry and you get to see lives change. And you'll look back at the end of life and like, man, that was some of the best times of my life. Yeah. Not how much money I made, but the impact I made on people's lives. And people are going to remember you. People are going to show up to your funeral and tell stories like, no, because of them, this is what my life is now. And those things matter. Those things are going to matter more than anything else you can do.
Oh, I think that's great. No, thank you so much. Yes, I couldn't agree more. That's people need to understand too. This is real. We enjoy that. We love hearing the praise report. Hey, I went to the hospital. I prayed with so and so. Man, I just feel like God is moving. Amen. That's right. God wants to use you too. Like, these are the things. Brother Mark came up to me and said, I did this wedding. I feel like I did a really good job. Dude, I'm so proud of you. Like, it says that you would be built up to maturity in Christ, that you would do the work of the ministry. I love that part. Absolutely love that part. To me, that's us discipling people. Hey, I was able to help my brother out with this verse, and I feel like, his marriage is going to get better. Praise God. I don't need to be the star of the show. I could play the background. Matter of fact, I told was it Mandy yesterday on the way home? I can't remember. I believe it was her. I said, I may have said it back in the worship room too. Kim, our worship leader, one of our worship leaders at one of our campuses, she took a moment to minister to the people during the song about, hey, the mighty name of Jesus, everything's got to bow. Like, you guys need to understand the authority we're singing right now, whatever's plaguing you, anxiety, depression, whatever. She just went in on it. And I mean that in a good way. Like, hey, I'm calling out this demon for what he is, and we're going to take authority, and our praise is going to reach heaven. She went on maybe 3 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. I don't know. But the way she led the people to a point of freedom, I was like, I literally, maybe it was Mana who was back there. I said, hey, we could wrap that up and we could beat the Baptist to lunch right now. Just tell everybody we done, do a blessing. Let's get out of here. Let's go. First to the buffets is what matters, right? And I meant that. It's like I'm sitting here, I'm watching John and Elsa over at one campus honor Becca and Carlos, and I'm thinking, that's incredible. That's amazing. Becca and Carlos just honored them a couple of weeks before that. And I'm thinking, you know what I thought with you guys? And I saw you guys doing the transition. You know what I literally thought? Y'all don't need me. I don't even know why I'm here.
We do.
No. I'm only here because I do the most of the teaching. That's the only reason why you guys got me here. But I'm sitting there thinking, like, watching Kim do this. I watched Elaine. She crushed that song yesterday, ministering to people I was like, this woman of God done found her niche right here. And we talked about this, the last few Sundays she's been doing worship was like, who's this woman of God now? Like, hello? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that to me gives me more fulfillment than anything else. Hearing all the praise reports from Kairos too, that Raquel and Mandy, that they collaborated so well on. Man, I could die a happy man. Like, this is it. Like this, people ask what fulfills me. That fulfills me. Like watching people step into this. Because trust me, you guys already know this, but other people, I can play the background. Like I've got no problem. Like I can just sit there, be coaching. I'll be on the front row singing out of tune without auto tune. Like they know that about me. And this is the part that gets me going. And I'm super excited for what God is going to do. Okay, so that discipleship part, I'm all about it. And all I ever dream of is like, where are we doing it next? What can we start next? That's what I dream of. Okay, I want to show you something. You guys know I'm a big football fan. You guys know that. And I hear you, Mr. Basketball, Mr. Baseball. Football players are just different. And I agree with you. We are different. Whether you're Scataboo, that brother, he got to stop headbutting people without his helmet on. He going to have some CTE. He may already have some CTE. I don't even know what he's got, but he just crazy. I love that guy. I don't know if he's a believer yet, but I'd love to sit down. I'd love to eat a Philly cheesesteak sandwich with him and just talk Jesus. That's my type. That's a football player. Okay. So I'm watching. Okay, this is totally bad. I'm going to wrap myself out. This is sinful. I agree. Lord Jesus, forgive me. But when I drive my truck, this is bad. Don't judge me. My phone sits right where my speedometer is so perfectly. So I'm able to watch football and drive. I know. I just said that. But I feel better, though, because now when people know I'm distracted, I feel better. Just saying, I feel better. I feel good. Why are you laughing? You're the same guy that used to not buy grocery bags, and now you buy grocery bags. So you feel better? You told people you feel better.
No, I'm not saying feel better.
Okay.
But just because you do what God called you to do doesn't mean you feel better. Every time I do it.
Is that bitter? Yeah. It's just sweet going in.
If I can carry it, I carry it. We'll get the bag.
I feel better. Okay.
If we see you driving the truck, we just need to.
Okay. This is great. Hey, I'm not like other people holding it up while I'm okay. I'm at least paying attention. Okay. Hands free. Thank you. All right. Justified. I feel justified. Okay. I watched this part live because I watched Vanderbilt close out the game, and they played who they play. I'll look it up. But anyway, I watched Vanderbilt close out this game, and as you know, they're in Nashville, and they haven't always been known for football, but they're over here. They played a great game, and Diego Pavia is the quarterback. A real rags to riches story from New Mexico. Talks about how nobody wanted him. Did real good. I think he was at Purdue or something. He was somewhere last year. Got an eligibility. Went over to Vandy. Or maybe he was there, but it was the year before that he was somewhere else. Long story short, can I play you? This game is being broadcast everywhere. Everybody's tuning in. This is a really big deal. And he gets interviewed. And he says something. I promise you, I've never heard this before. This is almost as good as that wrestler who talked about bamboo underwear or whatever he was wearing. Okay, this is almost as good. Can I play you this clip? I think something's happening. And by the way, we're going to piggyback off this next week too. Okay, so I'm going to play you this clip. Watch this.
Congratulations. What was this performance like for you and this team?
Well, I feel like I got a little overwhelming the past few weeks, and I really wasn't just being myself, and I wasn't really chasing God, and so he was there to humble me, and so Eli was there to tell me like where I was making the mistake, and that's where I was making the mistake, and I just got back on path. Obviously, no one's perfect, but I just want to chase him and encourage everyone to chase him. That's a better life out there.
Okay, Did you see that? I'm watching that live, and I'm like, what did he say? He said, God had to humble me because I wasn't chasing him. I was like, what? Bro, you just beat LSU. Like, you're going to be ranked top 5. I think they said they haven't been ranked top 5 since the 90s. Like, here's a little kid out of nowhere, obscure start. Nobody wanted him. Just took down a giant in LSU. And now he's on national TV saying, listen, I got too full of myself. I'm like, bro, you getting chased endorsements, all this stuff. Like, you in Nashville, like, you the man. They're ripping down goalposts, and you're over here saying, and God had to humble me so I can learn how to chase him again. I don't know. What'd you think? That was good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I'd like to see him build on this.
Okay.
I mean, it's great. I mean, he could have said all kinds of different things post game. To be able to honor God like that, I think is awesome. And I know we shouldn't look to people with the platform to use their platform,
right?
But if he could build on this and continue to do something with that, I think it'd be awesome.
What about you? What'd you think? What'd you think of his just being honest and transparent about it? He was full of it. He literally said, I was full of myself. I was chasing the wrong thing.
But he was saying that because he got humbled because he wasn't playing really other places.
Well, they were doing really good, and then the game he lost, he had a bad game, and he was like I let it go to my head. There's a little backstory to that. This kid was crushing it, and then they lost when they shouldn't have lost, and that's why he said I got humbled.
Gotcha.
Like like God had to humble me. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he keeps recognizing that. Maybe God has something big for him. Maybe he's gonna go win a national championship. Like whatever it may be. It's cool. I mean, hopefully he keeps going that route to be a great story. So,
well, they're talking about this is Vanderbilt's best shot at the team they got going on right now. The way they're playing, the way he's playing in particular.
Because is it 12 teams now? Did they change?
Yeah.
To 12 teams?
Oh no, they're ranked. I think they came. Are they 5 right now? They're
I don't know. I'm trying to find it.
Okay, yeah, they're like 4 or 5 right now. And so, to me, Bishop, and we're going to talk about this next week, there's a new study that came out about Gen Z, and specifically with the men. And this is why I wanted to close with this, and we're going to piggyback off of next week. They said amongst Gen Z, attendance up, Bible sales up, Bible studies on college campuses not up, skyrocketed.
Do you know the age of Gen Z? I keep hearing. Do you guys know?
They would be 23 or 22 and younger, right? 22 and like 10 or 22 and 12, something like that. Or is it 24? Okay, so I missed about a year.
Okay.
They're saying it's between 13 and 28.
They gave it a 15.
Okay,
that's fine. Yeah,
I just want to get an idea.
I could buy that. You know, they always give a couple years on each side.
Teenagers
difference.
and 20s.
Yes,
18 to 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say mid 20s. You know, somewhere in the mid, low to mid 20s.
Yeah.
But Bible sells up. I'm going to show this next week that there's a real move of God. And here's the thing, though. We've been on this. We've been on this since the revival at the college in Kentucky. We've been on this since Ohio State, who's still handling business right now at Ohio State. Hey, you ready for this? Jacksonville Jaguar, the defensive back. Who's the young kid that goes both ways?
Hunter.
Travis Hunter got baptized at Tim Timberlake's church in Florida. Right before the game, Skip Bayless goes after him, and everybody claps back on Skip Bayless, saying basically, "Shut up, stick to writing." Well, actually, okay, I didn't say this, so don't nobody judge me. Pastor Jerry, please forgive me, because they said Skip, keep the writing worthless articles nobody reads. We don't want to hear you comment.
I don't like Skip Bayless.
Me neither. That's great.
Okay, so I probably should. You guys took too much joy out of that. Okay. But my point is, Travis Hunter goes on to defend himself. He goes, "Hey, listen, I'm not in the clubs. I'm not multiple baby mamas. I'm trying to serve God because serving God will make me a better man." I'm thinking, baptize the whole freaking team. Matter of fact, come on over to the Raiders, baptize us because we need all the help we can get. Thank you. Okay. How you like that one, right? My point is, something's stirring in these young men, and we're going to talk about it. So I think Diego Pava is onto something. I think what's happening at Ohio State, they're talking about all these little things breaking out on all these college campuses. Guys, I'm telling you, something's stirring in the waters, and I believe it's that window that I've been talking about, okay? And so I'm super excited. But to hear that verbiage from him just kind of took my breath away a little bit, like, hey, dude, no one talks like that unless that's real. No one says that. They say something like, oh, man, oh, glory to God, he gave me the ability to do this. No, he said, no, God had to humble me. I was full of myself. I'm like, okay, dog, I see you. That's what's up. Okay. I want to close with this. We talked about it. Let's circle back real quick. By the way, you can tell he's being discipled. Can I say that? You can tell this man's being discipled. I don't know who's doing it, but someone is in that ear saying, no. You're off, right? Can you give me, Mike, just in your own words, if you can, and then Bishop will go to you, just a proactive step someone can take to be discipled? Not pastor, discipled. Like, what's a proactive step they could take, okay? And this is your segment right here. You take the next couple minutes. What's a proactive step? And there might be something you did. What did you do to make a real asserted effort to be discipled, okay? So however you want to talk to them, look at that camera and tell somebody who's on the other end, this is a step you could take.
I think a very easy thing to do, I mean, once you find somebody who you could learn from, let's say that's box number one, try not to do too much. You're wanting to grow in a certain area by exponentially grow in a certain area. I think sometimes we try to bite off too much at the beginning, and we just can't run that type of race. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And what ends up happening with some discipleship relationships is that you have the person who's doing the discipling get burned out or get frustrated with the person who wants to do too much but doesn't do anything. And so what I would do if I was trying to just become a disciple of somebody else is try to do something that is very tangible, that you can actually do, and then not only do it, but do it on time. And on time means early.
Yes, it does.
Okay, so it's like, hey, I'd really like for you to disciple me. I'm looking to grow in this area of my life. Okay, well, here's a book. Here's a great book. Read this. Try to get it done by the end of the month. And don't come back 3 months later saying, yeah, I'm almost finished. Because what that shows the other person is like, you're not really wanting that. Right. And part of that discipleship relationship is that the other person who's doing the discipling is giving of themselves. And there's only so much that person can give of themselves. And so they're realizing, like, how much do I need to invest in somebody? Because there's always this balance. Like, how much do I invest in somebody? Well, I want to invest in somebody who's really wanting it rather than somebody who's just saying it. So you can show that person who's doing the discipling that you really want it by just choosing something little and then do it early and don't do it on time.
I love it. That's good advice. What about you? Something that you chose to do that's made a big difference in your discipleship life, or something that you've seen in somebody else and now you've modeled it? Just what advice would you give to those who are looking to take a next step towards discipleship?
Well, one thing, don't be afraid to fail.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Now, when I talked to my son this morning, he didn't go to school. I'm like, why did you want to go to school? He was like, man, and it took me a while to get there. But it was like, man, like math is hard. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, you have a good grade in math. We literally go pull it up, and he has a B in math. Like, what are you talking about?
That's a good grade.
Yeah, I was like, look, and you're going to get probably A next year. Like, math has never been, next semester, it was like, it's never been that hard for you. It was like, he was believing something that wasn't even true. Okay. And let that discourage him. I'm like, you're believing a lie. Like, and we never put that pressure on you. Like, hey, we just say, just get better. I think people have a hard time even taking that first step. Because, what if I fail? What if I'm not good enough? Like, stop worrying about that. God is going to empower you. Don't think because you see people farther than you that they started there. They got there because of they chose to take that next step. So don't be afraid to jump into classes. Don't be afraid that, hey, I don't know how to pray. I don't know how to read. I don't know how to study the Bible. Like, you don't have to. We're trying to lead you and guide you to those places. So don't be afraid to take that first step. Last week at Bible study, I forgot what we were talking about, but I mentioned this being pastored and being discipled and allowing someone to speak into your life. And I told him, like, I have conversations with Pastor Anthony that, that aren't on camera in front of people that are more like we're debating back and forth. But I told them it's always my job to walk away and really consider what you're saying. And I need to make the adjustment. I need to make the change, or I need to go find another church. Like, because you're discipling me. And so allowing someone to speak into your life, in that even though you might have honest conversations, it's like, hey, would you trust them enough to make the adjustment and see how that plays out? But sometimes people aren't even even if you may disagree, you're not allowing someone to, like, you know what, I'm going to trust you. Let's see how this plays out. And so, but some people's like, nope, I don't want anything. This is what I believe in. You're so hard-headed that no one can speak into your life.
Man, both of those are so good. And both of those, if they just do one of those two things, they're gonna grow. Like, you'd be surprised. There's an old saying that's large doors swing on small hinges. In other words, people think it's these huge, grandiose things we change or we do that really make the big difference. No, it's these small things we decide to do on a daily basis that make the biggest difference. You know, it's those little minor adjustments, right? I was thinking about this. The whole reason I led you guys with that question is I was thinking about this the other day. It's like if I could tell somebody, I don't know what I was doing, but I had a conversation. I yelled at the person, "It's the secret sauce," and just joking, right? And we always want to know the secret sauce, whether it's Chick-fil-A or, you know, or the Kinder's barbecue sauce we love so much. You know, what's the secret in that sauce, right? I started thinking about one of the things I think is underrated, like doesn't get the hype in the headlines, is just something that I've tried really hard to do, consistency. Like just, I think if anything has helped me to get to where I am, it's just I'm not the smartest, I'm not the strongest, I'm not the brightest, I'm not this, I'm not that. And trust me, I got that list going. But I can tell you what one thing I am that most people aren't. I'm consistent. You know where you're going to find me. You know what I'm going to be reading. You know when I'm going to be praying. Like, I just keep that consistency. And I think what I don't have naturally, if I could say it that way, what I don't have naturally, what I'm not gifted intellectually, what I just don't have just given to me just straight from genetics, even DNA composition, whatever you want to call it, I can make up for it through consistency. I can consistently read a chapter a day. I can grab a book and read a chapter a day as well. And what I don't know, you know, what I don't have intellectually, I could at least make it up academically by studying myself. I told everybody this Sunday, like I have a book by Steve Schnell, who lives by Pastor Ron. The guy is brilliant. Like he reads it and memorizes. I'm like, how you do that? Like, how's that possible? And then he's able to, you know, write books on this because he's memorized world history and all this stuff. And like, you know, and by the way, the reason he knew about this is because they went over here and there was a place there and I read about it. And I'm like, well, I probably read it too. I just didn't remember it. And so that's a teaching gift. And I'm like, hey, yo, what I can't do because I'm not you, but I can sure grab your book and learn from you. And I can remember a story. And that's why I tell people that's the consistency you got to have. And it's okay to do that because if you're consistent over a long duration of time, you will see the fruit in your life. And I think that's what people miss. We live in a time where we want instant gratification. We want instant results. I went to the gym for 2 weeks. Why don't I have a six-pack? Well, there's a whole list of reasons for that. But anyway, but we want that instant because it's all app accessible. And it doesn't work like that. There's no DoorDash for life. You're going to have to put in the hard work. But you can be. Peace. I'm out.